Morning everyone. It's bright and early and we've been having a lot of rain, but I wanted to share with you an update. I did not ever dream that I was going to have an update like this, and I tell you, it is stranger than fiction. So as you know, last week I did a video. I just shared a lot of things off my chest, and I just really opened up and shared some stuff that was going on in my life. Now there was two separate incidences, but I just felt like God was calling me to share that. That video now has reached over 70,000 views, which is something that doesn't happen on my channel often. And you're looking at this title and you're like, what in the world now? So I want to update you. It's unbelievable. Is it an arsonist that came back to see the fire, or is it the Lord revealing things to set my heart free? You know, it's either way. So I'll let you decide and figure out what it is. So I have to tell you, the story is quite unusually different. I have to go back and explain everything to you. So I did a video where I said about somebody who's part of a group, and they were writing letters and they were doing false things and false information and just things to just try to cause stress in my life. Now this wasn't just a one-time thing. This was a years. So it was years worth of just bullying. And then what happened was it would progress. You know what I'm saying? So it started out with something small and then it progressed. Well, law enforcement, somebody who works with law enforcement, looked at it and said, you know, I really believe this is somebody close to you. And I kept saying to myself, well, I don't have any enemies. In my personal life, I don't have enemies. There's nobody that in my personal life that I had any issues with. The only issues I've ever had with people was because I have a YouTube channel, which that's understandable. You know, you're not gonna have the whole world love you. This video is going to be in different parts, all in one video. So we're going to go with the very beginning. And the very beginning of everything was all of these things that were being done to me. And of course, it was part of a group, but I'll explain something to you. So, and now there is an ending to this too. So what happened was, you know, it was this group, but there was these people in this group that were anonymous. So I didn't know who these people were. And you know, I just figured this is YouTube people, you know, people that saw my videos, which generally probably is most of them. When I say people, it's a handful. It's just a small amount. But what happened was, this all came out now. And what happened was years ago, before I had a YouTube channel, there was a woman that I became friends with. Now, I'm not going to go into full details how I became her friend or anything like that. But what happened was, now this is way before YouTube, and she had some issues in her life, and I want to be really delicate about the situation. So that's all you need to know, and you'll be aware of this throughout this little story of mine. So for a couple years that I befriended her, you know, I tried to help her and we would talk and things, but after about 2 years, she started having very bizarre actions. It was very bizarre, and it got to the point where it was obsessive. And to make a long story short, something happened that it actually scared me, and I just ended the relationship of being her friend, because it was getting to be so obsessive that it was really being destructive to my family. And my husband and I were like, you know what, Tessie, this person's issues are beyond anything that you could help with. And so that was years ago. I didn't think much about it, but in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, you know what? I wonder if it's this person, you know, because this person doesn't like being told no. You know, this person felt rejected by me, but it was a situation where I had to flee. And so life just kept going on. But then the letters, so the letters were postmarked from a different state. So I kept thinking to myself, well, it can't be this person because this person's in my state. So, you know, we just kind of just threw that off as, you know, we said, you know, the law enforcement, you know, I don't think it is somebody like that. I think it's with YouTube, you know, it's just the YouTube hate group, which it is. And they attack hundreds of channels. It's not just me. So I want to really make that clear. I'm not like singled out, but it can be extremely volatile in certain groups. And so, you know, for years I just went through this, and then I did the video. And then when I did the video, you could say the skunk came out of its hole. You could say, you know, all of these things, you know, I'll just let it up to all of you. But I did the video, and one thing I want to say about the video is, and somebody said it so clearly, when you release that fear and you project that fear and you share that fear, Satan can't use that fear anymore against you. And that was what I felt. When I shared that fear, like it was a fear I lived with, I should have shared it from day one. From day one, I should have shared with all of you the fear. But I held it inside, and then Satan used that fear against me. And so that video, it was worth it more than $1 million to me, that video, because I shared my fear. I don't have that fear anymore, because guess what? I shared it. Well, this gets really interesting. And so our property is lined with cameras. We got cameras the whole way around our property, 360 degrees. We got cameras everywhere. We got cameras here, there, everywhere. Our property and our neighbors' properties are full of cameras. And I also live in a dead-end road. So what happened was, Tuesday I was sitting in the living room, and then I went up to go into the kitchen to do some work. And I saw a car slowly coming up the road. My husband was out mowing behind the shed. And this car came slowly up behind, like coming around the road. And I thought, well, this is strange. See, we know, all of us neighbors know all of the vehicles here, because this is a dead-end road. All roads leading to my house is dead end. So you got one dead end, one way, one dead end, one dead end. And I'm like, I don't recognize this vehicle. And of course, I always have antennas up, like, who is that? And then all of a sudden, they stopped. And I'm like, oh boy, who is this from that gossip site? That's the first thing I thought, because, that's where and I just did that video. So I look out the window, and the person either saw my husband or whatever. I'm saying the person, I know who it is, just to let you know, but I won't, say. Came in our driveway and whipped around as fast as they could, but I saw the driver, and I have cameras. She knew about this gossip forum, and she was on the gossip forum. That I know for a fact. I'm talking 7 years ago. She was a big part of it, because when I rejected her, and then she knew I started making YouTube videos, she was the first one on there to start saying stuff about me. I got cameras that show the back of her vehicle. I get cameras that show the front of her vehicle. And I got cameras that showed her puppy dog looking out the window. Now, she was on our property. The reason why I'm sharing all of this is for one reason only. And I want to say this to all of you, and me included. It's called gang stalking. And what it is a bunch of people, or a handful of people, get together. And they keep going back and forth, and this is what they do. They go back and forth. Hey, let's do this to her. Let's do this to her. Let's do this to her. And they try to convince each other to do something. Most people, or a lot of people, are mentally stable, and they know it's just going back and forth. Oh, did you see her hair today? Let's go do this about her. Let's go do this comment about her. Well, let's do this. But what happens is, and this is such a life lesson that I want to share with people, is you don't know the circle of people that you're around, especially when it's online. You don't know the circle of people that you are corresponding with. And in that circle of people, you could have somebody that has mental issues. And when you start saying little things about someone, they could actually, in their mind, take it too far. And in this forum, there's supposed to be moderators. And in this forum, You know what the rules are? Do you really want to know what the rules are? Do whatever you want to the person, just don't ever say it online. Don't ever tell anybody online. Can you believe that? That is their rules, so they don't get in trouble. Do whatever you want to somebody. Do whatever you want. Just don't say it online. In my case, they were saying it online. Oh, they were saying it big time. They were saying all of the things that they were doing. They were saying all of the contacts they were trying to make. They were doing all of these things. But what answers the question that some of the postmarks were out of state? Well, there you go. On vacation, she was sending these letters while she was on vacation to make it look like she wasn't around here, because she has a timeshare, a vacation place in the state of where the stuff was sent. Now, does she work by herself? I do not know. Was there other people that worked with her? In other words, was it more than one person? That I don't know, because she's on this forum and they were sharing with each other, because she was on this forum and they were sharing with each other how they were going to do things to me, to destroy any credibility that I had. Well, of course, it didn't work. In fact, the people came to me with the letters and said, you know, we understand what's happening because you have a YouTube channel. In their letters, they were telling people to look at my YouTube channel. That would have been the worst thing to do, because the YouTube channel discloses me. It shares who I am. And right away, all of the people who got these letters realized, oh, okay, there's some deep issues with the person sending this. But there is a lesson to be learned in anything. And that lesson is, when we speak about other people, please be mindful that the people you are speaking to could have some real mental issues. And that we are all accountable for the things that we say. You know, even if somebody is just out there making fun of you or making fun of me, or, you know, be careful who you speak that to, because there are people that are deranged, psychopaths. There are people that have severe problems. And in the world that we're living in today, there is very few filters. That website is illegal and it should be taken down. There have been many people that have tried to take it down. Big channels that have gone to very extreme situations to try to get it taken down. But it's like this. It is, the forum itself is not created in the United States. And the thing is, it's just, until somebody gets hurt, which somebody had got hurt already. There was a YouTube channel that actually was attacked, and the person, it stemmed from that. There's been great people, there's been a lot of lawsuits filed, but you know, it's life. And that's the problem that we have with modern society, is because what's happening now is there's so much being done online right now, and there's very few laws that are actually put into place, that we are going to have a society that is going to have a lot of bad things happen to us, because the online world is pretty much a free-for-all. And when you can have a forum where they're saying, I hope she dies this way, or I hope this happens to her. Oh, can you imagine if that happens to her? Oh, report this. Here, this is what you do. This is how you do it. Go ahead and write these letters. You know, when you actually have people trying to instruct others how to have a gang mentality against one person, you know, all of us who are in social media could have this happen to them, not just me. And so I know there was a big YouTube channel, like it was bad with them. It was an off-grid channel, and it was severe, like severe. There's also another channel that the gentleman had the same thing happen to him that happened to me. Is it the same person? I don't know. But I do know who one of the main people are now. And so everything I have is filed it's been filed. Everything I have is, you know, documented. You just never know, especially with women. You know, you always think, oh, Stalkers is a man. Women can be really bad too, like really bad. And a lot of the channels said in their past, you know, they've had issues. I know not everybody is going to like me, and I know not everybody is going to, you know, want to be my friend. And I know out there, you know, there are people that see me and my videos from all walks of life. And there's some people, you know, that don't understand me and don't understand my happiness. So when I shared, you know, what happened, and I'm happy now, all of a sudden I'm a liar, and they don't understand. But for one, I wouldn't be sharing something like this, so embarrassing and humiliating, if it wasn't true. And two, I have Jesus. And so when you have people that are lost and don't know about their personal faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, they don't understand the peace. They don't understand with how I could stand by someone and how I could be with them and love them and be through it all. They don't understand that. So please, I'm asking you one thing. If you could pray for the people who watch my videos, and pray for the hate group, that somehow the Lord would convict them, or somehow the Lord's judgment would come upon them, because in the years to come, there's going to be, I fear, people that are going to be extremely persecuted because of it. And like I said, it's hundreds of channels, not just me. I'm just a thread in their woven canvas of life. But there you go, everyone. So that is what happened. What goes on beyond this, I'm not sharing. And I just wanted you to know that there was closure in my life. Complete closure in my life. And it was just crazy. Just crazy how, you know, investigators and people that's what they do in life, and how they can piece things together. And now, you know, how they can correlate if there was any other people that were helping in this, and or if this was different people that was separate, you know, different people that could have done it separate, or if they did it as a joint little group. There's things that can be found out. And I just thank the Lord that there was people on my side that know the law and know things. And it's a scary world out there, but you know what? God is in control. And it just was very interesting. And I want to share that with all of you, because I think that now you can have closure to the story that I shared with you guys. And maybe there'll be more closure. I don't know. I just never in my wildest dreams how this all is coming together. That's it of this story, though, because whatever happens from here on out, I can't share. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.